The Indiana Health Commissioner made a stop in Jasper earlier today. More on the message he was delivering. Plus, Ferdinand Town Manager Chris James joins me for this week's edition of Monday with the Mayor. And the Ferdinand HiMattFest Queen Pageant winners are tonight's guests on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with a Dale man facing charges after a gun he was carrying accidentally fired inside of the Jasper Walmart. Just before 10:30 yesterday morning, Jasper police were called to the Walmart on the city's north side on a report of a gun discharge. When they arrived, police found that a handgun belonging to 65-year-old Kenneth Pirtle of Dale had accidentally fired at the front of the store. Pirtle told police he put his hand into his pocket to get something else out when the gun went off. Police say other items in Pirtle's pocket contributed to the gun going off. After being fired, the bullet from the gun exited through Pirtle's pant leg and ricocheted off of the vinyl and concrete floor. It wound up lodged in a wall nearby. Pirtle suffered minor burns on his leg, but he refused medical treatment. No other injuries were reported. Pirtle is facing charges for criminal recklessness with a firearm. Police say their investigation is still ongoing. A different Dale man was taken into custody yesterday afternoon after returning to a home near Kiana that he had just broken into. Deputies with the DuBois County Sheriff's Department were at the home of Andrew and Cheryl Verkamp gathering information when the man believed to have broken into the residence, 36-year-old David Hopper, returned. He said the reason for his return was to apologize for breaking in. Now, authorities were originally called after the Verkamps found Hopper in their bathroom shortly after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The couple told deputies they had been taking a nap when Cheryl heard the doorbell ring, but she didn't get up to answer it. A few moments later, she heard noises inside the home and sent Andrew to investigate. He met Hopper coming out of the home's bathroom, and when he confronted him, Hopper stated that he was looking for a neighbor's house. Hopper admitted that he had been in the home when the deputy confronted him once he returned. Hopper said he was addicted to prescription medication and had intended to steal it. After searching through Hopper's car, deputies found a jar of coins. Hopper told police he stole that from a Pike County home that he found unlocked, though he could not tell deputies where that home was located at. Hopper was booked into the DuBois County Security Center. He faces a Class B felony for burglary. Now, anyone with any information about the stolen coin jar is asked to call the DuBois County Sheriff's Department at 482-3522. Local residents got the chance to hear more about a new statewide health care plan that's in the works. Earlier today, State Health Commissioner Dr. William Van Ness and State Medicaid Director Joe Moser were on hand at the Memorial Lodge on Jasper's south side to tell folks more about the proposed Healthy Indiana 2.0 plan. The new plan is a consumer-driven health care coverage program aimed at ensuring 350,000 additional low-income Hoosiers between the ages of 19 and 64, with incomes up to 138% of the federal poverty level. In terms of dollars and cents, that's just over $16,100 a year for individuals and just over $32,900 a year for a family of 4. Van Ness says the new plan fills a statewide coverage gap.
And this is kind of for able-bodied people 19 to 64 who just don't make enough money to buy insurance through their employer or maybe buy it on the open market. And we want to make sure they've got a nice comprehensive plan that will cover them.
Meanwhile, Moser says HIP 2.0 is a better option than what folks would be able to get through Medicaid.
Well, we don't believe that traditional Medicaid is a program that should be expanded. We think it should be reformed. And we think the Health Indiana plan is an innovative model to encourage consumer-driven healthcare and getting healthcare consumers involved in making their own healthcare decisions. And we think that's the right way to expand coverage in the state.
Now, with HIP 2.0, folks would be able to choose between 3 options. These are the Employer Benefit Link, Plus, and Basic. The Employer Benefit Link works with members that have employer-sponsored options through financial support. The Plus plan is for Hoosiers making less than 138% of the federal poverty level, while the Basic plan is a default option for Hoosiers below 100% of the federal poverty level. All plans will continue to use contributions to a monthly Power Health Savings account. Van Ness told the crowd that many of the people currently enrolled in Healthy Indiana are satisfied with the Power accounts and the plan as a whole. 98% of people currently in HIP say they would enroll again, according to a poll. Now, the plan is currently in a 30-day public comment period. That time frame ends this Saturday. Comments can be sent to HIP 2.0 at fssa.in.gov. The program would then begin contingent on the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services approval of the state's waiver application, which is due no later than June 30th. State officials are hoping to begin HIP 2.0 enrollment sometime next year. Work on a major rail crossing in Huntingburg is now underway. This morning, NDOT officials closed a stretch of US 231 between State Road 64 in Huntingburg and State Road 162 in Jasper. Crews are making repairs to the railroad crossing just north of State Road 64. Traffic is being detoured over State Roads 64 and 162 this week while the work is taking place. Work is expected to continue all week and should be done by 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. That is, of course, weather permitting. NDOT says local traffic will still have access to the area up to the point of closure. The agency is reminding all other motorists to follow the posted work zone speed limit, use caution, and consider worker safety when they travel through a work zone. Though there weren't any accidents at the crossing, one driver ran into issues at the nearby Huck's gas station. Huntingburg Police Chief Art Parks says a woman was pulling into a parking space in front of the Huck's building when she had brake issues and ran into a propane tank storage rack. Parks says the woman refused medical treatment at the scene. The storage rack and the vehicle both sustained damage. On a final note, US 231 is not the only area road set to be under construction. Weather permitting, sections of Klemper Road are set to be closed tomorrow and Wednesday for paving. Work will begin at 7 a.m. each day, and the road should reopen no later than 6 p.m. Motorists are being asked to avoid that area for the rest of the current week. This year's HiMattFest royalty has now been crowned. 16-year-old Shelby Clem of Ferdinand was chosen as Miss HiMattFest for this year. She was also honored as the most photogenic of the contestants. Sabrina Becker of Ferdinand was the first runner-up, while Tiffany Singer of Birdseye was named as Miss Congeniality. Meanwhile, Allison Wall was named as Little Miss HiMattFest, with Ella Hope as the runner-up and Ava Fletcher as most photogenic. In the Little Mr. HiMattFest pageant, Leo Woodolph took home top honors along with the most photogenic award. Bryson Frick was named as runner-up. Finally this evening, Friday night marked a special kickoff to the Father's Day weekend this past weekend in Huntingburg. The third edition of the Celebrating Fathers event was held at Huntingburg City Park and League Stadium. The festivities got underway in the park at 7 o'clock on Friday with free food and music, courtesy of the celebration singers, among others. Kim Kendall is the coordinator for the event. She says the celebration serves as a reminder of the role of dads.
This is coming together to just help promote and inspire and honor that role of fathers in our community. So anything that we can do to help with that, there's a ton on Mother's Day, and there should be, but you know what? Fathers are really important, and so we're really just trying to get it out there that this is an awesome role, and we thank you for the ones who are doing great. We inspire the ones who are struggling and need help.
Kendall says the event has grown significantly from the 600 people who attended during its first year. 17 churches and 19 businesses were involved in Friday night's event. The keynote speaker was former Washington Hatchets basketball star Luke Zeller. Zeller, a father himself, says his biggest goal is to inspire fathers and to remind them of their importance.
I think a role of father is huge. My father's been incredible to me, my Heavenly Father as well, and be able to be a father myself now, you know that there's a huge responsibility, and I'm excited to be able to encourage fathers and be able to celebrate how great and how important they are.
The movie Hoosiers was shown following Zeller's speech, which got underway at 8:30 Friday night inside of League Stadium. Now, the Celebrating Fathers event was part of a busy weekend in Huntingburg, as mentioned. The event was surrounded by the third 555 Run Walk event and 2 ribbon cuttings along 4th Street. Several festivities, including a doubleheader of DuBois County Bomber games and music in the park, took place on Saturday. Nearly 1,900 people were in attendance for the Bombers' doubleheader. All right, coming up after the break, Ferdinand Town Manager Chris James joins me for Monday with the Mayor, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform with the Ferdinand HiMattFest winners. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.